It should not take this long, yo.
Yeah, see, it's smoking. Ooh. Ooh. No, that was lean as hell. That's a little weird. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Oh, it just died. It just died. So Ebony's been running a little bit lean. That's not Ebony, that's a big skeleton. Don't worry about that, that's Jack. What's up, Jack? Ebony's been running a little bit lean, and I know the first thing you're gonna say is, well, you idiot, you keep turning up the boost and you're not going to the dyno. You're right, you're absolutely right. I do need to go to the dyno, but that's not it, because I turned down the boost and it was still running lean. Turned the boost even lower back to where it was before when it wasn't running lean, and it's still running lean. I turned the boost down lower than it was before, lower than it was before, and it's still running lean. So something is definitely going on with the fueling, and we're trying to diagnose it right now. So my first thought was, maybe it's the wires. So if you guys remember when I first installed the fuel pump, I did use a relay kit, but I also spliced it into the stock wiring, and some people said those stock wires aren't really that thick, and that might cause a problem. I didn't see a problem with it. Car's been running great for about 2 years, I guess, until now, and I never really had a problem with the wiring. But maybe over time, maybe the wires did start getting hot and they started to smoke and, you know, become bad wires. So I actually rewired the fuel pump. I used thicker wires, and I actually used some pretty cool, forgot the name of the brand, but some pretty cool waterproof connectors with solder joints in the middle and you heat up and all that stuff, and they came out pretty good. So I put that back in with the wiring, and also while I had the fuel pump out to do the wiring, I checked the hose. I physically didn't see anything wrong with the hose. That was another thing I wanted to check, see if there was like any cracks or anything. I didn't see anything physically. Hold on. And put that back in there, did a pull. It was fine for one pull, and then it started going lean again. So it's kind of weird, right? So then I started thinking, what else could it be? I drive the car regularly. I always drive the car to work and stuff. And I remember one time I drove from here to work, right? It is, you know, close to winter time. It's pretty cold. So the morning start, it's on the 85. It was kind of hard to start. When I got to work, I worked. I got off work. It was like 65 degrees. It was warm. And I went to go start it, and it took like 6 times for it to start. And I said, that's weird because it's not cold outside. So that makes me think of something else going on with the fuel pump. So I think maybe the fuel pump is dying. I don't know, but I just pulled it out, and I think I might have figured it out. So here is my little science project. I have a spare battery with some with the charger connector to it right now, and some alligator clips going from the positive and negatives. And I'm gonna hot wire this fuel pump. I got it right now sitting in a bucket of water, and you see the bottom is in there. And I'm gonna show you guys what it's doing and what I'm seeing. These wires are thin, so I can't run it very long. But water's coming out. And you can see it leaking. It's hard to see right now, but you can start to see over time it's starting to leak more and more and more. So I had to take it off because I could smell the wires getting hot. But yeah, see, it's smoking. Ooh, ooh. Don't try this at home. But yes, that is the issue. I actually did this before another day, because I actually already ordered some parts, but it's leaking from the very top. And I adjusted the fuel crimp on the bottom, but the first time I did it, it was spraying out of here, so it was really, really bad. So this is a Walbro 450 pump, and if it's spraying fluid from the top and bottom of the hose while it's supposed to be going into the car, then it's not really flowing 450 liters per hour. So I think that is the issue. So I actually got some new hose and some new clamps, and we're gonna try to fix that again and put it back in the car and see if it works. All right, so I actually put this on my Instagram story first, and Jordan from Arcade Tunes saw this hose and said, get rid of it. He says a lot of kits come with this hose, and he says a lot of people actually end up having problems with them over time. And I think this is now my time. I guess, I don't know, maybe the plastic just gets worn out over time. And also I'm gonna change these hose clamps also, because these are just typical screw-on hose clamps, which I thought were fine, but maybe they don't, maybe they get loose over time or something. I don't know, but we're gonna upgrade. So What he trusts, he says he only trusts radium. So I have a radium submergible fuel hose. He trusts these and also the white version of these. So the radium also has this, but in white. I just decided to get this one because it's black and beautiful. It's not a racist joke, it's just being funny. And also I'm going to be changing to these spring clamps because they are pretty even all around. So it's like a perfect circle. And these other clamps, you know, they just kind of flatten out at the top where you screw it. So maybe that'll be better and more consistent also. So let's change these hoses and hope everything works fine. All right, I'm gonna get this fuel hose out of here. And also, yes, I am in uniform. It is peak season at UPS right now. And I had 220 stops today. So it is actually late. I am fresh off of work. It is like 10 o'clock right now. But I don't have any other time to do this because work sucks right now. So here's what it is. I don't know how this leaked. This thing is on there. This is not coming off. Jesus. Obviously I need 2 hands, but God. How did that leak? That's crazy. Woo. Look at the damage I had to cause to get this thing off. I gotta do the one on the actual fuel pump. Alright, well this hose is never to be used again. Because that's what I had to do to get this thing off. But it's off. Got a little bit of scuff marks. I had to pry, but the other one is just rubber, and it just, I may cut it. I'm not sure. I may loop it around. I don't know. Seems like all E36 fuel pump hoses are looped. I don't know why, but I'll loop that one too. It's enough to loop. This is just one foot, so you can order by the foot, and I just got 1 foot. All right, so as far as hoses, if you want to order your own hose somewhere else, or you want to order from Radium, this is not a sponsor, so you do what you want to do. If you want to order from them, they actually tell you what size you'll need. This is a Walbro pump, so typically with Walbro pumps, you will need a 3/8. That's what it says. And also, it looks like the hose up here that actually goes through the casing seems to be also about the same size. They both look like the 3/8. I just kind of test fitted, slipped this thing on both, and they seem like they will fit. So it looks like 3/8 for the pump and 3/8 for the housing. This is so hard. All right, that is on there very tightly, top and bottom. All right, got the science project hooked back up, but this wire is smoked. I'm not getting any voltage, so it's not gonna work on the fuel pump. So I have to get another one. I do have another here, and hopefully, I might have used this one too. Again, it doesn't last long. This thing is plugged up to a charger, so it's like 14 straight volts. Yep, this wire's kind of, wire's kind of shit too. So let me find another one. And I know I really shouldn't be doing that as a test, but I mean, I don't really have any other way to test it. I mean, if I put it back in the car, obviously I won't know if it's leaking or not. So kind of have to bench test it that way. But that is why you need a relay connected to your fuel pump wiring, because if you just wire your fuel pump straight to that, then you're gonna burn stuff. So hopefully I don't burn out the pump doing that. Again, I only do it for a few seconds, but I have to find a new wire so I can do it for a few seconds, make sure it's not leaking, and hopefully we're good to go. Okay, in moment of truth, we are ready to go. That wire is good. I just checked the voltage, so once I plug that up, fuel pump's gonna kick on. I wanna make sure it's spewing fuel, well, water, and then make sure there's nothing getting wet over here. So again, can't do this long. Oh, shit. I forgot to put the hose on. Sorry. It worked though. Okay, take two. I have the hose on there. This is just vacuum hose. I just wanted something to, send water through. So now let's see. Water is flowing. I don't see any leaks. I'm going to stop it now, but I think we are good. Sweet. All right, so that concludes the radium submergible fuel line install. I'm actually going to pull it out of the water now and run it for a few more seconds to try to get any of the remaining water that's still in there and still in the line and the filter at the bottom. That way I'm not putting any water in my tank. I don't want any water going in my fuel line. That could be really bad. So it's dark. I can't see anything right now. So I'm actually going to wake up early in the morning and try to put it in the car in the morning. I have to work tomorrow, so make sure it starts and everything's good, and then I will try to drive Ebony to work. Now, I can drive even with it running lean, because it has been doing it for a couple weeks now, just kind of cruising, haven't been going crazy, didn't want to blow it up. But as far as the numbers, it was like mid 13 or high 13, like 13.5, 13.8 is where it wants to sit. Sometimes it'll go up to like 14, and yeah, that's not where it should be. So I know one time I kind of rolled into the boost like just perfect, and I guess I was getting all the fuel I wanted, and it was like 12.5 at 18 psi, and it felt like an absolute rocket. That was like the fastest I ever felt. So I think that's where it wants to be. I know the tuner says he at pump gas I was like 11.7, and he says on the 85 it should be a little bit higher. So 12.5 is probably where it wants to be. So we'll see what it does tomorrow. Again, if it's still running lean, then I guess we'll keep chasing problems and try to figure it out. I know in the past it ran lean one time when the hose popped off the, because it's still stock M50 rail with the stock fuel pressure regulator, and there's a vacuum hose that comes off the regulator into the bottom of the intake manifold, and that popped off a long time ago. I did check that hose, it was still there, so it's not that. So I think it was that. I really think it was that. If the hose is leaking, it's not going through the system, then there you go. So anyways, I'm gonna go to bed so I can wake up early, and we'll see you guys in the morning. 7:03 a.m. Let's go ahead and put this fuel pump in here. I could have did it. I guess I could have did it last night. I didn't think about the interior light, so it's not that bad. Will the hose fit? Yes. All right, let's try it from here. It should not take this long, yo. That thing is priming. It's definitely primed. Come on. There we go. It helps if I take the ground strap off and put it back on. Basically get a refresh connection, and then my cluster will work again. It only happens when it's cold. Probably need a new battery, but batteries are expensive. What's the warranty? I got it in 20, so I guess 5-year warranty? I don't remember. I do have a cluster. Now I gotta start it again. wiring's shitty as hell. Alright, give me this. I don't know how much gas I have. It's not empty. But I don't know, no, this thing isn't working. Great. See you later.
On my way to make $1 million. See ya. I didn't know it was gonna be on your camera. I
Yep.
just smiled for it.
Yeah.
I got coffee yet.
Alright, this is like pretty much my only room to play right now. I'm gonna downshift and do a pull. Here's I put my GoPro here, so hopefully you guys see what I see. This is the boost, and this is the AFR, so hopefully it's down in the 12s or something. I'm just gonna go from 4th. Nope, that was lean as hell. That was 14. Try to roll into it. It's something else. It's something that didn't even try. That was worse than before. I don't know. One of them shut up. So that's annoying. I was 90% certain that was it. I'm not exactly sure now, so maybe fuel pressure regulator, because it could be, I don't know, I might have to take the intake manifold off and maybe double check the hose under and make sure there's no cracks or anything in it, because it's very hard to get to. Last time you got to really reach under there, and maybe it did come off, and maybe it's not tight. I can check real quick, but I did check earlier, but it's definitely, it's like I said, it's worse than before. So I have my finger on it, and it's definitely on there. It's hard to see. It's on there. I'm pushing it higher, and it's definitely on there. So, and it's on the regulator also. So that doesn't appear to be it, but maybe I'll find something after I take it off. I don't know. So the stock fuel pressure regulator is does do well under boost. A lot of people just run stock regulator, even up to like 20-30 pounds. So I don't think that's an issue, especially right now. I don't even think it's at 18 pounds. Gas gauge still doesn't work, so now I gotta fix wiring on that, so that's annoying. But yeah, I really thought that was gonna be it, and it's not. So that sucks. That would have been too easy, right? So I have to figure out what is causing this thing to run lean. It keeps randomly doing this too. I'm not touching the gas. There might be like a vacuum leak or somewhere. That's weird. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but hear me out. What if this is related to a battery or alternator issue? I know it sounds kind of crazy. Why would a battery or alternator make your car run lean? Maybe this car is not getting the voltage it's supposed to be getting on all this stuff. So, because what just happened a few minutes ago is a little weird. So, I'm sitting in this beautiful Atlanta traffic, driving to work, and my gauge starts to climb a little bit into the hot side. Not all the way, just I can tell it's a little past the middle. I'm like, that's a little weird. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And then it goes back, which makes me think, for some reason, for that split second, the fan decided it didn't want to work, and then it decided to work. About a minute after that, the gauge, the cluster, turns off completely. Just completely wipes out. RPM, everything just falls. It comes back like 30 seconds after that, and now my gas gauge works. So why is all this stuff, his temp gauge is back down? Like, so I'm wondering if for some reason, and maybe cold weather has something to do with it, that the battery is just not putting out 12 volts all to my system. So if my fuel pump is not getting 12 volts, I'm not getting all my fuel. So I'm about to try something. Hopefully if this traffic lets up just a little bit. I'm gonna try to do another slight pull, because now that I have a gauge again and my car is not overheating, so I think I have all my voltage right now, then maybe I will have all my fuel pump too. Just brainstorm, just thinking out loud. I'm gonna hit the slightest amount of boost here. Still lean. All right, hey guys, I'm on my way home from work now, and something weird just happened again. So cluster is off again, as you can see. You just see the backlight from the headlights being on. But remember, back in June, I drove this car for my birthday, and I tried to put the passenger window down, and it didn't move, and it seemed like it was broken. My window's not working. That's annoying. Yeah, when you pull the door handle, it usually goes down, and it didn't. So I think his window motor just took a crap. Well, it's been months. I haven't had a chance to even take the door panel off to look to see what's going on, and all of a sudden, it works now. That hasn't worked in months, and it just happened to work now. What is going on with this car? It's raining. That sucks. So, it's funny how this video kind of went from thinking it would be a simple few hose swap to now still having the same problem, and it seems like I have electrical problems also. So this just level of this video just elevated. So I'm not sure we're gonna get them all fixed, but we'll see. So right now, I had a revelation or a epiphany or something where you just randomly think of something, and I think I'm gonna check the math, because I've never checked that. So because something else is happening also. I did take my battery charger and plugged it up to here, so I had 14 volts, because like I said, I think the alternator is going bad also. And when I had 14 volts, the cluster came back on, because I drove home with no cluster last night, or no, last night to y'all, but it was like probably 4 days ago now, because it's Sunday, my only day off. And I came out the next morning and it still didn't want to start right away. That's not normal. So I'm wondering if the math has something to do with that. Maybe the turbo is leaking a bunch of oil into the system, and maybe my math is very oily. So I'm going to get into that, and maybe that will, I don't know, just thinking out loud right now. Right now, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to unplug the math. I have tape on it so it doesn't come off, and I'm gonna see if it will run without a math, because even when it does run, it still like hangs a lot. This is hard. Give me two hands. Oh, there was a clip on it, that's why. Even when it does run, you guys have seen it hang, and that's kind of weird also and annoying. So this is without the math plugged in right now. All right, I'm gonna give it some gas. Yeah, it won't start at all now. So it runs with no math plugged in right now. Check engine lights on, because there's no math plugged in, but It runs with no MAF. It is very high on idle. I am now going to plug the MAF in and see if anything changes. Nothing changed. So, I'm going to pull this MAF out and look at the plate and see if the plate is super, super dirty while I find the right tools. So when it comes to turbo cars, there is a MAF sensor or a MAP sensor, MAF or MAP. P is pressure, mass air. I think it's mass air pressure. I know there's mass air flow for MAF, but for MAP sensors, there's usually a sensor in the intake manifold that tells when the intake manifold has a certain amount of pressure. That sensor does whatever it needs to do, then it adds fuel to equal the pressure. For the mass airflow sensor, it's in the intake manifold through just before the throttle plate. The throttle plate, I said it right. And it detects how much flow is actually going through. And if that thing isn't reading right because it's dirty, then it doesn't know how much fuel I actually need. So that could be why. This is brainstorming. I don't know yet because I could be wrong again. But that's why I think I need to check the MAF. All right, let's see what it looks like. This is so hard to get out because this is silicone. This is silicone. There's not a lot of flex, and it's very... Oh. Yeah, I need two hands. This thing is long. I'm actually bummed to say it looks really clean in there. I don't see anything wrong. So this is a HPX MAF recommended from my tuner, and typically when you want to clean a MAF, you just spray it, and you can use mass airflow sensor cleaner. I have used brake cleaner in the past, but apparently you're not supposed to do that because it leaves a residue. So I'll go get the right stuff, but I do want to double check and make sure I can spray this because it's not your typical E36 MAF where you can actually physically see the plate. This one has a bunch of little sensors in there, not too familiar with, so I'm gonna Google, make sure I can clean this the same way, and I just want to double check because this thing is $300, so don't want to mess it up. Don't want to buy another one, so let me check. So when I first pulled it off, it didn't really look dirty, but now it's looking a little brownish, and maybe it is super oily. So I'm curious to see what it would look like after I clean it. Dang. All right, I am back. Gonna give this thing a few spritz and see how well it does. It's hard to tell on camera, but it does actually look cleaner. So hopefully it's all it needed. So let's go put it back in the car. All right, MAF is back in. Let's go ahead and put the wire back in there. Also swap hose clamps because this one's a little bit thicker than this one was. And I know there was always a tiny gap right here. Wasn't enough of a gap to get air in there, I don't believe. It's been like that forever. I fixed it a couple of times and it seems like it keeps wanting to push back. So if you saw a gap in there earlier in the video and you want to say that was probably it, I don't think it was it. But we are going to see with a clean MAF how this thing reacts. So first start. Still does this. Make sure it's primed. And it's not cold. It's a little chilly, like 42, 45, but it's not cold enough for this, yo. So something is going on with this car. That's not giving me nothing. I don't hear my fuel pump. This is what I'm saying, man. It's like so many electrical problems right now. It's such a pain in the ass. I don't hear my fuel pump at all. My fuel pump's loud enough where you can hear it prime. I don't hear it. Pull the seat down, see if I can hear the relay. Relay will click. Relay clicks. The fuel pump's not doing anything. So I'm legitimately wondering if my fuel pump is dying live on camera right now, because it's not turning on. Obviously this video started with fuel issues, and could be battery related too. This is such a pain in the ass. I just want you to work. All right, it's clear path. I should hear a fuel pump if this thing is working. The fuel pump is right here. So this thing, wrong keys. Hold on, where's the key? All right, I'm gonna switch this battery on. That's not making any noise. Come on, man. So this isn't fuel. This is silicone that blocked off the hole from drilling a hole in here to run these bigger pump wires. This is a little jank, but this is actually just the fuel pump gas gauge thing, so it's not that important. It is important, but it's not that important. And then it's grounded to the chassis, which, like I said earlier, I actually get higher voltage grounding to the chassis instead of back into the factory wiring of the fuel pump. This hot wire goes into the relay, and that relay goes back into the wiring system for the car that tells the fuel pump to go. So everything is wired. I don't see anything wrong, and it's not working. I hear the fuel pump relay clicking, but there is no fuel pump. I found it. So this is my relay. I just touched this thing right here, and I guess it's a little shortened because now my fuel pump works again. So listen to the fuel pump prime. So now it should start. Give it a second. Give it a second. Alright, so before I get any further, I'm gonna clean whatever I got going on under here. I probably did something embarrassing. It's probably something temporary, but I need to fix it permanently now. So, because remember, at first I had the circuit breaker that came with the relay kit, and that circuit breaker kept shorting out and leaving me stranded. Got super hot, so I swapped it out with the fuse, and now fuse works, but I think the wiring is kind of probably jank since I didn't have a lot of space to work with at the time. But I got time today. Not a lot of time, but a little bit of time. Alright, got the tape off, and it looks like kind of corroded. Like, why? It's like green in some places. I don't know if the wires got too hot. It shouldn't. It's 30 amp with a 30 amp fuse, and it's the same size as the factory one that goes to the battery cable. So that's kind of weird, but maybe they weren't sitting together right, and that's what made it do that. So I'm gonna put these together better and keep an eye on it. Fire. 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 Alright, sorry I gotta interrupt this video real quick, but you know I gotta plug my stuff. So I haven't been posting as much as I want to, because last time I disappeared I said I was focusing more on merch. Well, I came back, and then I'm actually still focusing a little bit on merch, but I'm gonna do one more drop and then full focus on YouTube. So for real this time. But I wanted to drop something else before Christmas, and this is the perfect thing. Everything came in just in time. So this Friday, remember this Friday, you're gonna love this merch. So first of all, I was wearing a hat. I don't know if you guys saw it, but this is already released. This is online. You can get this now. But this Friday, before cars, I was always heavy into skateboarding. And I wanted to find a way to incorporate skateboarding into my merch. Well, I got a couple designs. So first off, we got this cool little skeleton right here. And he's doing a nice little back 50 on a handrail. And it says IB Garage Fresh to Death. And I thought it was cool. It should have been released Halloween, but I didn't have them ready by then, so I had to wait. And then I decided to wait and put it with something else. So that comes in black. It also comes in white. And typically I like black shirts better, but I actually like this design better in white. I think it just looks way better in white. I don't know why, but so you can get those this Friday. And also, remember when I did this? That's it, that's all I needed. This picture will make sense later. Well, this was the reason why. I had this idea and I said, let's put that on a skateboard. So here we are. We have skate decks and I'm so excited for this. I have wanted my own skateboard forever, and what a perfect combination to have all three E36s on there. Got Roxanne, Ebony, and Stancy Stacy. So having this on a skate deck makes me so happy. So these are gonna be available. Make sure you do not sleep 6 p.m. because these aren't gonna last. I know these aren't gonna last. And also, I even made a shirt to go with it. So the background of the deck is gray, and this shirt is gray, and it has the same trio on there. And right there, you can actually see that actually is my garage. You can see my toolboxes, my spare wheels, my shelves. That actually is the garage. So this is the IB Garage with the skate deck. So make sure 6 o'clock, you be ready. Don't sleep, because it took months for this to come in. So it will be very hard to restock these. So be ready. Back to the video. All right, so I'm back on the road, but it's raining, so I can't even really test it, because I know as soon as this thing hits boost, it's just gonna go sideways, and I'm not trying to go into a tree. I'm gonna try to slowly roll into it. That will at least rule out if it was a dirty math. That'll kind of tell me something. So trying to get to a road where it's actually straight, and then I'll try to hit, I don't know, a little bit of boost, I guess. I don't know, man. It's got the spin. Yeah, that just spins. That wasn't even half throttle. Oh, now it's breaking up. Now I can't hit any boost. What is going on with this car? Oh, I can't floor it at all. I can't even touch the gas right now. Yep, this thing is not doing anything. Oh, it just died. It just died. Oh. Ebony, what are we doing? What are we doing? So it probably won't start. It does start, and it dies. So there's probably no fuel pump again. It just falls on his face. I don't know if you can see that in camera. I guess you can. Yep, that's it. I don't know. I'm stumped. I don't even know how I'm gonna get home. Shit. Well, that would explain it. How the fuck did that happen? Okay. All right, put the thing back on there. It should start in idle now. Alright, so we are back to driving. So I'll put the bigger fuel clamp on there, and it held less. It makes sense. Alright guys, we are back to where we started. literally where we started. Got nowhere. I changed the fuel hose that was leaking. Thought that would fix the problem. It did not fix the problem. I did some rewiring. Thought that would fix the problem. It did not fix the problem. Cleaned the MAF. Thought that would fix the problem. Did not fix the problem. And we are still having the same problem. Now, I know we have ran into some electrical issues. It could, I don't think, but it could be alternator related. There is a chance. I did do the alternator test where you pull the ground strap off while the car's running and see if it dies, and it didn't. So alternator runs enough to power a car. Also did the OBC trick where you check the voltage while it's running, and it does run at like 13.5 volts. We can check right now while I'm talking, and I'll show you guys just in case you missed the last video on that. But I don't think the alternator voltage is bad enough to where it won't run, give me fuel. So here we go. So I'm gonna show you this trick again real quick. So the first thing you do in your OBC is hit the date and 1210. That is the date. Add these two together, that comes 22. So that is your code. So you're gonna hit this 1010 together at the same time. Test NR, test number. You're gonna hit 19. You know, guys should know how to use E36s. Hit 19. You're gonna hit set. This is the unlock it. It's locked. You need to unlock it. The unlock code is your date added together, which is 22. So you're gonna hit, if that doesn't work first time, hit set again. Hit 22. All right, oh, 22. Now it's unlocked. The code for alternator and battery voltage is 9. You're gonna hit set again, and that is my voltage. And now it's 14. So it's not that bad. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on, yo. So I don't think it's alternator. I could be wrong, but you guys just saw it's like 14 volts now. So I think I'm probably gonna, I don't like ending videos when they're not done, because this is just a, you know, the answer's still up in the air, but I need some help because I have no idea. So maybe somebody can post some suggestions that maybe I can look into for part 2. But yeah, because it's going to take a while to finish this video anyways. It's peak season. I'm working Monday through Saturday right now. Sunday's the only day I have off. Today is Sunday. And I was hoping to fix this by the end of the day. It's about to get dark. It's raining. I can't do much. So, and there's a big jack skeleton in my garage, so I can't even pull the car in the garage right now. Roxanne's clutch is broken. So, yeah, I have no garage space right now. So, there's not much I could do. But I think I might have to pull the intake manifold. The reason I say that is because last time I had lean issues, I still have the stock fuel pressure regulator. There's a hose that goes from the fuel pressure regulator to the bottom of the intake. And last time that hose blew off. The hose is on there. I checked, double checked, triple checked. The hose is on there on both sides. The hose is still there. Maybe it has a hole in it. I don't know. But some reason I'm not getting the right fuel pressure. So I'm wondering if that's it. If all else fails, I might have to switch to an actual aftermarket fuel pressure regulator. But that costs money. And I don't want to spend money. Not right now. It's Christmas time. So, but I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. Sorry, I did not find the answer yet. So stay tuned for part 2. Where I'm either going to swap an alternator or take off the intake manifold and whatever you guys can suggest. I don't think it's tune related. Again, let me say that before you guys comment. I don't think it's tune related because I turned down the boost and it's still doing it. When the boost was down, I never had this problem. So I turned up the boost. Gradually, I started to have this problem. Turned down the boost and I still have the problem. So I don't think it's tune related. So I don't know. Maybe turning up the boost messed something up. And I don't know. I don't know. So I'll see you guys later, and maybe we'll figure it out. This is a sad goodbye. Not sad, but frustrating. See you later.